This is made by Fiskars and it's called the Power Stroke. And because it's so light, you can be pruning up there. You can quickly extend if you need a few more feet. And the other benefit is that you have the head that swivels as well.
Hello.
Hello and welcome to climbingarborist.com. My name is Dan Holliday and I want to make this quick review video of one of my favourite tools, which you'll be quite surprised at. It's this Fiskars shotgun pole pruner, or it's called the Power Stroke pole pruner. We call it shotgun because of the kind of mechanism there. That's how we use it. And it's funny because I really want to make this, or I am making this video because I use this all the time. Whenever we're doing like small pruning, like Japanese maple pruning, whenever we're doing building clearance, and you can reach growth from the ground that's not that big. It'll probably prune up to, I don't know, inch and a half. And it also depends on the species of tree as well. Like really hard wood, it'll struggle with, but soft stuff, it'll cut pretty much the diameter of the gap there. But the beauty of this thing is, number one, it is so light. So when I first got it, I was like, this is not gonna last. This is like homeowner grade. You can buy them in like Home Depot, homeowner grade. And for using it in a commercial setting, as a professional arborist, using it on a daily basis or weekly basis, I thought this thing is not going to last. So I bought 3 of them. One, because sometimes we'll have a job where 2 or 3 of us can be pole pruning at the same time, and so it makes sense. But also I thought it's not going to be long before they break. So the beautiful thing is, 1, it's really light. 2, because of the mechanism to use the cutting blade is all in line with the pole. It's not like the Corona or Marvin poles where it has the string to give that like mechanical advantage to get a bigger pull. So when you're maxing out on those pole pruners and you're pulling the string, it's kind of bending the poles and it's pulling round. And once you actually get through after giving it some and it pulls, then the poles go flying. I'm not comparing this to that kind of pole pruner, because that is definitely will always cut through bigger stuff. It's more durable. It's more made for like commercial, daily use, that kind of thing. But those pole pruners are heavier. They pull off to the side. This is about 7. It's about so that's the height of it, fully retracted, and then it probably extends about another 5 or 6 feet. So I'll walk back here. So I think like at full extent it's probably about 12 to 13 feet, and then once you've got it up here, you've got it like 5 foot higher. So you can probably prune about 17 feet up. So for pruning, a bit of building clearance for Japanese maples, any kind of small ornamental tree, just kind of tipping in, that kind of thing. These pole pruners are worth their weight in gold. Like honestly, for a homeowner grade tool, this is like, I always like try and steer clear of like the homeowner stuff, especially the ones that are sold in your regular hardware stores, because you can usually expect that they're going to fall to pieces after a bit of like heavy work. But I've had these now. It was actually Connor that works for me. He recommended I get one because he'd used one working for our friend George, and George had them, and Connor was like, those shotgun pruners are like so useful, and he kept going on and on and on about it. So finally I found where I could get them, got one, then used it for a couple of weeks, then went and bought another two. Fantastic. I think so. This is made by Fiskars and it's called the Power Stroke, and I think in the UK, it was funny, I went back for Christmas to the UK, spent Christmas at my sister's house, and she actually had one, and it was branded as Wilkinson Sword. So in the UK it's branded as Wilkinson Sword, and yeah, really useful. If you do pruning on a regular basis, I recommend everybody go and try these, at least, just to see if they last, if you use them for your type of work. Not even that expensive. I think this is maybe 130 Canadian dollars, something like that. Oh, and the other benefit is that you have the head that swivels as well. So unlike the Marvin pole pruner, the angle is the angle, and you have to just make do. So some of the cuts you make are pretty terrible. With this, and because it's so light, you can be pruning up there. You can quickly extend if you need a few more feet. You can do a few pruning cuts, and then if the angle is different for one of them and you're struggling to get in, you can quickly bring it down. You can adjust the angle, just like that. Get the right angle you need. Go back up. Honestly, the fact that it's so light just makes it a pleasure to use. I will grab this all the time over the other pole pruner. The other pole pruner, like, to me, it kind of drives me mad when I know I need the bigger pole pruners and I have to go and get the head out of the truck. I have to get the two pruners, I have to click them together, and then I only need one for this bit, then I have to take the pole off, and then it's somewhere in between. Like, I'd prefer to use this any day of the week. And also for, like, this is where you're probably going to break it, but I've done it a bunch and this is still going strong. Because you can swivel this over, you can kind of use it to hook out hangers as well. You just like put it on an angle like that, lock it out, and then you can use that to hook stuff out. You don't have to try and like grab it with the blade, you can just hook it with the angle of the head. So yeah, Fiskars Power Stroke, this thing is absolutely brilliant.